What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades, but today we are not talking about blades. We're going to talk about something a little different, and Baz on Blades is going to get a little nostalgic tonight. Recently, many of you may know, in May of 2024 that my dad died, and we had been estranged for a couple of decades at least. So it was a sort of a weird situation for me, but it has turned me a little nostalgic, where I have never been before. I'm a person that fully lives in the now. I learn my lessons from the past, but I don't dwell on things too much. And I've never considered myself nostalgic, but I have gotten to be a little bit, and in some strange ways. A lot of them centered around my dad, and some of them not. But I got into my head one day, I wanted to go back and re-explore a period of time in my life. And the most important thing in my life at that time was being a Boy Scout. I am talking about 1979. Baz on Blades was little Baz on Blades at the time. I was 9 years old in 1979. And one of the most important things on the face of this planet to me was joining the Boy Scouts. Now, I am talking about an actual, real Boy Scouts that took it into their organization's hands to train generations of boys and young men into being adult men that were a positive part of society. And you may not agree with some of the things they say or don't say. If you don't, then, whatever. I'm not going to get into a lot of morality here, although there is very much a lot of moral training that is in this book. That's not what I'm going to talk about, though, because that's not... I did take those things, but I also had those things in my home, coming from a Christian home. I had those Judeo-Christian foundational beliefs. It was wrong to lie. It was wrong to steal. You didn't want to murder anybody. You didn't want to cheat with somebody's wife. All of those things plus that come with that belief system. So I don't want to cover that here, but what I want to talk about is the difference in what it meant to be a boy in 1979 compared to 2024. And let's try to avoid all the modern societal bullshit and condense this down, distill it down, break it down to foundational skill sets that a young boy would have had a few decades ago, a couple of generations ago in the United States of America. We were a much more capable society. Even people that lived in cities, major metropolises, were not that far removed from a country life, let's say. And they still had knowledge of skill sets, but those skill sets have been lost. Let me ask you this. Now, the people that watch my channel, there may be a higher percentage of people that are going to say, yes, I've done this. But for those of you that are sort of on the fringe of this knife enthusiast, firearm enthusiast sort of society subset, you may find that you have not done some of these things. When is the last time you took your children out and you taught them how to start a fire from nothing in the wilderness? Let's get serious here. Chances are slim your children are ever going to have to start a fire from nothing in the wilderness. I know that. I understand that. but we don't prepare for things that are easy to take care of. We prepare for things that come at the most wrong time that they can, that we're unprepared for. Just think about violent crime. What is the one thing that every victim of violent crime has in common, no matter their sex, nationality, religious belief, sexual orientation? None of that matters. What is the one thing they all have in common? They all say, I never thought it would happen to me. I never thought my kids would need to know how to start a fire until they did. So let's take a look at this. And let's, Baz on Blades has come in from work today. I've been up since 3:30 a.m. in the morning. That's when 3:30 a.m. happens for those of you that have not ever seen it. That's what time I have to get up to go to work. So it is, let's see what time it is right now. There you go. It is, about 8 till 7 p.m. So I've put a few hours on. I've been to work, and then after work I went to see my mom, and then I went back to work and picked up some groceries and came home. And we're going to sit down and do this because Baz on Blades has been drinking since he got home. He's done a little drinking, a little imbibing, whatever else you want to call it. So I want to touch on something through this scout. First of all, something that I very much appreciate about this. This is a 1979 Boy Scout Handbook. This is the same exact one I had when I was 9 years old in the Scouts. This is a first print. I did get it off of eBay. It and the 1980 Patrol Leader Handbook, together with shipped with tax and everything, it was like $26. It's in beautiful, beautiful condition. And I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Joe Blow. For some reason, I'm thinking that's not actually the kid's name that had this, but I approve. 9-year-old Baz on Blades 100% approves of Joe Blow. Something like this can be had extremely cheap, okay? And all jokes aside, we're going to get into the skill sets that this touches on. This may turn out to be a long video. Like I say, Baz on Blades has been drinking. I feel like I'm rambling right now, and possibly there's absolutely nobody watching right now. You've all already said, holy shit, God almighty, this guy. So Boy Scouts is in 2024, what would seem like a strange combination of skills and ideologies. It is very nationalistic. It teaches a person, a young man, a boy, to respect not only himself and other people, but the country he lives in and the sacrifices that have been made for him. It does have a moral foundation. It is Judeo-Christian based, so you're going to see a lot about honesty, treating people fairly, having respect for other people regardless of who or what they are. The Boy Scouts were teaching this stuff decades before all the Kool-Aid hair-colored lesbians got out in the streets and started burning their own cities down in support of whatever stupid fucking cause they're into. The Boy Scouts were already teaching us to be fair to others, among other things. So there is a moral foundational teaching within this, at least back in my era there was. But beyond that, there is also civic duty, something that is sorely missing in the modern world. I'm not just talking about America. There was a time when people actually cared about their nations. When people care about something, they tend to take care of it, don't they? You buy a brand new car, you just drop $50K on that car. You care about that damn thing, don't you? You're washing that thing every week. It's getting the latest wax, the latest ceramic coating. You've got everything done. You've got some surface protecting on it. You didn't put fresh tint on the windows to make the interior last. You're taking care of it. That's what that is all about. These civic lessons are all about that. When you care about the group that you're in, you're not subservient to that group. You're not subservient to the nationality. You care about the nationality because strengthening that mindset, which is basically a big family mindset, it is a positive return for you. Think about this. When does the United States get so strong that it doesn't benefit the United States? Now, regardless of any negativity out there, the stronger you are, the better off you are. Now, strength is not only physical strength, able to do harm unto others. It is all kinds of different strengths. Strengths of a family unit. That's what we are as a nation. We're a family unit, and that's what this book teaches to these kids. As we go through this, you're going to see life lessons, but you're going to see these illustrations. This is an illustration of a young boy rescuing somebody that's drowning. That's just an illustration, okay? This is a scout is brave. Part of the scout motto. A scout is brave, okay? And this is the illustration. It shows not somebody doing violence. It shows somebody helping somebody. That's what you'll see throughout this book. So let's get in here. We've got all of these lessons. The first third of this book is all about that. You're going to get in like this is personal camping gear here. You have fantastic illustrations. You have lists that the boys or young women even can use. Teach your daughters this stuff. Why would you want your daughter to be any weaker than anybody else? Teach her this skill set as well. Different kinds of packs. Now, of course, this is a little dated, 1979, but most of this stuff still applies. You got different kind of tents. Okay, these are foundational skill sets from this book. It's made to be taught to young boys. None of it is super technical, but you would be amazed at how deep all of this stuff is. We're just talking about camping and hiking. We've already covered a list of equipment, the different types of packs, different types of tents. When is the last time you taught your children that? Sleeping bags, okay? How to make a camp. How to build shelters. Come on, guys. You will learn knife skills, hatchet skills. You used to have to earn skill badges, merit badges in Scouts. This stuff is not only in this book. You would later be tested on it. And if you could show, hey, I can use this hatchet. I know this use. I know this use. I know this use. I know this safety across all of these uses. I remember these tests. And you're standing in front of your scout leaders and they're firing question after question at you. We're talking about young boys. I was 9 years old when I was earning these merit badges. To have 3 or 4 scout leaders in front of me asking me questions about this and having to demonstrate these skills, you talk about building character. You talking about making a strong young person. That is an incredible, it was such an incredible character builder in my life. Not just learning the skills, but being tested on the skills and standing there. and doing a good job. And if I fell short, having the positive feedback and the continued learning experience and chance to try again. You may not succeed the first time, but if you stick to it, you can and will succeed. Children are not taught that nowadays. So we got saw use. Look at this. Tying knots. You know what? I don't have my glasses on. This is like a blur. It looks like two octopuses fucking each other. Excuse my language. But that's what it looks like without my glasses on. I'm sorry. But this is not tying. I mean, when's the last time you taught your kids how to tie knots? Size of servings of food types to have a balanced caloric intake, balancing your caloric intake with your burning of calories during the day, to control body weight, to be able to survive in different situations, to know what foods will give you empty calories, which ones will provide proteins you can subside on, and good energy. Oh my God, come on. We're going to learn how to build fires. When is the last time you showed your kids how to build a fire? Everybody is terrified of their children and fire. In 1979, we sent our kids off in a group where other people taught them how to make all kinds of different fires. And we didn't worry about it because they had all these moral lessons before they got into this. They had that foundation taught to them before they learned the skills that could be dangerous without discipline and without those moral foundational teachings. Let's see, we got to get on here, guys. We're cooking over an open fire. Not just a little bit, okay? We're cooking all of these different ways of cooking over an open fire. They're showing you how to use mess kits. Come on. I've got a mess kit like this that I used in 1979 in the Boy Scouts. It was my dad's. He brought back from Vietnam. It was one of the few things he brought back besides fucked upness and memories. So this, wrapping stuff in foil and cooking it in coals. Since 1979, I guarantee I have done this at different levels with different food 1,000 times. 1,000 times. I have fed groups of 20 people at get-togethers purely on foil packet preparations like this with great success. With great success. Okay, these are edible wild plants. If your kid's going to go out and eat some plants, they should be edible plants. I mean, I would think so. Let's see here. We got, look at these guys building a shelter. This is not even a chapter about building a shelter. We're in plants right here. It's just an illustration. Every illustration supports multiple ideas in this book. It is so smartly done. These illustrations are so smartly done and placed within the text of the book. They appeal to a young person. They catch their eye. I mean, there is so much going on in this illustration, even though it is very simple. There's so much going on. Look at there's the water stuff. There's shelter stuff. There's building a bridge. There's archery. I mean, there's fishing in this one illustration right here. That's a way they would keep a young boy's interest. Okay, notice in 1979, multiple skin tones. That's not just white people. Back in 1979, after a couple of generations of fighting against modern racism, we didn't give a shit what the color of your skin was. And I still don't. Swimming, water rescue techniques, how to do it safely. Look at this. These are skill sets that a lifeguard would have to have. I don't know, do kids still go to pools? Or they just watch other kids go to pools on the internet? So we're going into hiking right here. Your hiking outfit, how to dress for hiking. You would be amazed how many people do not know how to dress when they go out in the woods. You're on the hike, how you're supposed to act. I want to take a look at this right here. This is a very important lesson. This is something that pisses Baz on Blades off as much as anything on the face of the planet, and that is people littering. Fuck you if you're littering. Period. Fuck you. Let me read this. Let no one say, and say it to your shame, that all was beauty here until you came. Let no one say. So, we're going to go into how to read a map. Not a little bit about how to read a map. This is a very detailed and very deep training for map and compass use for such young people. It shows you map symbols, different types of maps. You're going to go into your compass. It teaches you about the compass itself, the physical types of compasses, how to read a compass, magnetic declination for where you are in the United States, as north will read differently depending on your orientation. This is pretty deeply oriented training right here for a youth. And I'm going to ask you again, when's the last time you taught your child how to read a map? Do you even own any maps? You just use Google Maps? You got GPS in your car? Someday they're going to turn the internet off. Okay? That's going to be the one way to control people. They are going to turn the internet off, and you will lose all of that. If you do not own physical maps already, you will not own them. You should have a current road atlas. Buy one every 5 or 10 years. They're $20. Keep them around in case you ever need them. Map reading. Town and city hiking here. Let's skip over a little bit. What do we got? Look at this. It's a deer shitting. It's a shitting deer. I think they're very rare, shitting deers. I've never seen one myself. Look at this. All of this about wildlife. Many environments. Look at this. These are things that kids used to do when they gave a shit about anything that didn't have a screen on it. So we're going to do some trailing here, trail marking. We've got some common animal tracks for North America, I believe. Stalking, in case you want to, stalk a couple of deer. I don't know why you would do that. I think it's just observing those deers. Yeah. Animals, dangerous animals, potentially dangerous animals here. Birds. Look at this. Look at this. There is so much information in this book. It's presented in a straightforward, easy to learn way. I had no problem learning these things as a child, other than, just the discipline of being a child. But I was so excited about this and earning my merit badges that honestly, I don't remember it taking that much discipline. I don't remember my mom ever having to tell me to sit down and study. I more remember bugging everybody to death, telling them what I was learning. So, make-do weather instruments. Do I have to ask you the last time you taught your kids how to make-do weather instruments? Weather types? Holy crap. This is so awesome. This is so awesome. Baz on Blades is 54 years old. I guarantee if I go back and reread this book, which I am going to do cover to cover, I am going to learn and relearn so much. And no, it's not advanced training. It's the foundational training that all other training is built on. I guarantee even an adult man or woman, if you went back and reread this or read it for the first time, you would be amazed at what you would learn. You could fully, in North America, in the United States, you could fully live because you read this book. I believe that honestly. So we're going to get into some stars, navigating by the stars, constellations here. When's the last time you taught your kids what the constellations are? Again, we're going to go back into protect your world. This is going to be nature conservation. People are talking about this now like they've never talked about it before. We were learning this stuff decades ago. This was common to teach these boys in the Boy Scouts decades ago. And they were scouting a long time before I was there. How to find pure water. The different types of common waste that go into water, the effects they have on the water. It teaches you how to find clean water in nature. Look at this. More on not littering, anti-litter stuff, anti-industrial pollution and contamination, teaching about your ecosystem, you and other people. You and other people. When's the last time you taught your kids about them and other people, other than to just be scared of other people? Different types of communication. Look at this. Different types of communication. This is craziness. The spoken word. It goes through direct communication. How to make introductions in a conversation when you first meet somebody. How to introduce yourself. Think about how young people talk now. When you walk up to a young person and you start talking to them, do they have any conversational skills? Any at all, other than just to be able to mumble some words? Telephone communications. The proper way to make a call, the proper way to take a call. Come on. Anybody ever heard a kid answer the phone? That's some craziness right there. They have no idea what they're doing. They're going to go into the printed page. Showing people how to do something, that's a form of communication. This is awesome. Hand signs, sign language. Sign language. Yeah, we were learning that decades ago. Touch language. Signal flags. Distress signals. Okay, this is medical stuff here. How to deal with shock and fainting. How to stop bleeding. Major arteries. I was 9 years old. Hey, little Baz on Blades, this guy, he just had a negligent discharge of his firearm. He was appendix carry. He just shot himself down here in his nether regions. Pick up his balls. Let's stop this bleeding. When's the last time you taught your kid how to pick up balls and stop bleeding? I bet you never have. I bet you never have. CPR. Medical things. Slings, dressings. This is stuff. This is illustrated to do with your scout bandana that you have. It's part of your uniform. It's part of your uniform. It's always there. You can do all of this stuff with it. Yeah, burns, poisonous insect, arachnid bites, blisters, sprains. Again, more plant information. Fires. Okay, look at this. This is how to carry people. You're in a rescue. This is how you carry people. This is an amazing, amazing book. How far are we into this? 30 minutes already. Son of a gun. I've skipped so much. And if I've been rambling, I apologize for that. We're just going to fly. You, American citizen, learn about America. If you don't know about it, you don't know about it. You can't respect it if you don't know about it. If you can't respect it, you don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to support it. I'm not talking about some cartoonish cult-like following. America is not perfect. It is still controlled and run by human beings, and every one of us, including me, including you, every president we've ever had, every leader, we're all fucked up. Period. There is none of us perfect. We have done things that are not perfect, but we have also brought more to this world than any other empire in the entire recorded history of mankind. The United States gives more money towards poverty, disease, famine than any other country every year. Every year. There is no year we don't. For every way that we are fucked up, we are awesome in 100 other ways. The meaning of the Pledge of Allegiance. When's the last time you said the Pledge of Allegiance with your child? Need I say more? Know your flags, state flags. Striving for a happy family. The family, the nuclear family. This is one of the reasons that our country and the entire world is failing. We have destroyed the nuclear family. Oh, knowing your community. Community groups. Does this look Caucasian to anybody? Anybody see anything? Let's take a close look. Anything Caucasian there? Decades ago, the Boy Scouts were teaching kids how to respect everybody else. And then this Upward to Eagle section is about your advanced learning as you go through your badging and everything to work up to be an Eagle Scout. And the great thing about that was being an Eagle Scout is something that is presidentially recognized or has been in the past. It's something you have to earn in front of a council of your peers. It includes community service. It includes community service, and that is a requirement. Or it was. Like in 1979, okay? Everything that I've said, take it with a grain of salt, 1979. The Boy Scouts were about making young boys, young men better, giving them foundational knowledge to be a moral, productive, upright citizen to the benefit of their community. It taught them how to be stronger mentally, physically, emotionally. There was a sense of pride, of self-worth and accomplishment that came with every little thing that I did in the Boy Scouts. Everything that I did in the Boy Scouts made me feel better about myself. And I don't mean just saying I felt better about myself. I mean setting a goal, working toward that goal, and accomplishing that goal. That type of worthiness of self. There is nothing else that can build that except something like what's in this book. And I'm not saying this is the only system. I don't care. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to upset somebody. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know what chapter there is in here about not caring about what other people say, just doing the right thing. And I'm doing the right thing, which is whatever the hell I want to do on Baz on Blades, because it's my damn channel. You don't want to go back to 1979 Boy Scouts? Don't watch this video. I mean, you've already watched 36 minutes. I think this is my longest video. I don't even think the Boy Scouts exist anymore. I just made a 36-minute video. Don't drink before you make videos, Baz on Blades. It's even worse than normal. So as always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my super duper long ass videos. I apologize for the profanity, but I don't care. So, I mean, that apology was totally fake. I'm sorry. God bless all of you. We will talk to you again.